Good morning, Ugly. Bro, keep it together. Welcome back to Pin 87. Today we're talking all about voltage drop testing. If you've watched the build series, you've seen us do voltage drop testing before. But this video is going to be specifically just voltage drop testing. We're going to focus on understanding what it is, how to perform it. I want to show you at the bench first some of the details that might get lost if we go directly to the car. A voltage drop is the voltage lost across a section of an electrical circuit while current is flowing. For a voltage drop test to work, the circuit or component you're testing must remain operating for the entire test. For example, if you're testing a fuel pump, the fuel pump must be running. If you're testing a starter cable, the engine must be cranking. No current flow means no meaningful voltage drop measurement. The very first thing is just setting up the digital multimeter to the correct setting. You want it on DC volts. That's the one with the line with the dashes, not the squiggly thing. Next, measure your battery voltage. This is our reference voltage. We'll compare our measurements to this value. Let's pretend this is a simple headlight circuit and the light isn't as bright as it should be. The next thing that we need to do is just grab a quick voltage reading. We need to verify the complaint, so to speak. We can grab chassis ground with the negative, and we can back probe the headlight connector, and we may see a reading something along the lines of 10.9 volts. Now we can do some basic math. The battery was 12.4 volts. We've just measured 10.9 volts. That's a voltage drop of 1.5 volts. Now we need to figure out where that 1.5 volts has gone. And now we start doing voltage drop tests. So, let's start somewhere. We can back probe this thing like this. Right, this connector. And we may get a reading something like 0.02 volts. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for that 1.5 volts. Where did it go? So we keep moving along. We peel the harness apart, and we're looking at this splice, and we've got 0.01 volts. That's not it. We get to the relay and we back probe it. The meter reads something like 1.5 volts, 1.48 volts. We found where that voltage drop is occurring. The next step is physically identify why that's happening. Whether it's a bad terminal, a bad relay, whatever it happens to be. When you're probing around, you see a negative symbol on the meter. Just ignore it. It just means that you have the leads backwards. It doesn't change the actual reading. If we do this, we see negative 0.02 volts. If we do this, we see positive 0.02 volts. Don't get bogged down in a negative number. It doesn't mean anything in this context. Now that you have a basic understanding of what voltage drop testing looks like, let's take a look at it on an actual car where things get a lot more complicated and things are a lot harder to see. Well, of course, first things first, let's get the power turned on. Remember, one of the first steps is we need to check the battery voltage. Not bad for sitting around doing nothing. Okay, let's get into the setup. So what we're going to be testing is the main battery cable all the way to the starter post. So essentially we are verifying the voltage drop on this cable. That's the only component besides a small interruption there at the distribution panel. So all of this is added together, and we are measuring the entirety of the cable all the way to the main power post on the starter. So everything in between, every connector, every ring terminal, all that stuff. Now, to get this reading, the starter does have to run. So now what I'm going to do is get the power probe hooked up so we can cause the starter to crank. And in this configuration, what you want to see right now is 0. This is perfect. If it was anything other than 0, you'd probably need to fix that problem first before even doing a voltage drop test. So now we have the power probe hooked up to the battery, and we're going to set that aside for a second. We'll focus on the meter. We're going to hit the min-max button. That's going to show us the maximum and minimum reading, even if we don't watch the meter. So our max voltage drop captured is 0.527, and the minimum is 0, of course, because that's where the meter started. So we are only dropping half a volt, which is really good. That means that when the battery is fully charged, say 12.6 volts like it's supposed to be, we're getting approximately 12 volts at the starter post. If you want to see how much current this draws, you can watch episode 3. Now I want to show you the live reading without the min-max turned on, so you get kind of an idea of why the min-max feature is powerful. Notice that you never saw 0.5. If you've watched episode 4 of the build series, you've seen load McLaderson before. We are going to use it, I don't know. Anyways, we're going to test the voltage drop on his 12 gauge, very long, I think 25 feet of 12 gauge power wire. The setup is simple. The positive probe is attached to the positive terminal of the battery. The negative probe is back probing the positive wire at the DTP connector. So this is load McLaderson's voltage drop on the positive side. 0.526, actually eerily similar to the voltage drop on the starter cable, but complete coincidence. I think it's 16 amps, 17 amp draw. I can't really remember. Just watch episode 4, it's all in there. So now what we're going to do is have this ground be loose, and then let's see what happens to the voltage drop. I'm intentionally not using min-max here, just so we can see what a loose ground looks like. Through the magic of editing, we can pause it and see 2.25 as it flashes on the screen. This is, of course, an absolutely terrible amount of voltage to lose on a piece of 12 gauge powering a couple lights. And if you pay close attention, you probably noticed that it went higher than that. It went to 3 point something volts. Now, something we didn't demo on this video, but you can do on your own, is we could have just as easily found this voltage drop on the ground side of load McLaderson. So just keep that in mind. Like in the 3rd episode of the build series, we measured the voltage drop on all the negative cables. And I almost forgot to show you the voltage for load McLaderson with the drop happening, which of course was the entire point of measuring the battery voltage in the first place. So we do some quick math here. 11.9 plus 0.5 equals 12.4. The biggest takeaway for this video is we're not just trying to find bad grounds or bad pieces of wire or whatever. It could be anything that adds the resistance to the circuit. Anything attached to any wire, a terminal, corrosion, etc., right? We've gone over that, but I just want to drive that home. That's not what we're not looking for one specific thing, we're looking for anything. And always remember, the cool thing about voltage drop testing is if you design a circuit, you place it in your vehicle, it does whatever, I don't know what, you add an amplifier for an audio system and it's in the trunk or whatever, you can test what you've placed in the car to verify that it's going to work properly. If it wants power and ground, this test will help you troubleshoot it. I wanted to do something different this time. Instead of asking for you to like, comment, and subscribe, which you should, let's do something different. Drop in the comments where you're watching the video from. I'd love to see where you're watching from. Let me know. We'll see you on the next one. Peace!